Alastor was talking to Charlie just like in canon. Just like in canon, Charlie wanted to stop the exorcism. However, she didn't know how. Alastor would offer the same thing like in canon, but this time he would bring up a contract. As Charlie would sign it, Alastor would laugh and say, "You're an idiot." As she pointed to the contract that said, "Alastor does not own my soul," he would say, "Read below that." "Just kidding, he actually does," it says. "If you actually fell for this, you're an idiot." As Charlie would scream, "That's not very nice. What are you going to do?" As she fell to the ground scared. She was the princess of hell, but now she was at the mercy of Alastor. As she expected something terrible, but Alastor would simply just put down a drink and say, "Drink it, and I'll give you back your soul." Looked as she didn't trust her. She says, "I don't want it." Suddenly a chain would appear around her neck. Alastor would say, "I kept Husk in my chains for a long, long time, under me, tortured by me. You know that, right? I could do the exact same to you, but I'm not. I'm letting you go free. Just drink it." As Charlie would shake, she would grab the drink and begin to drink it. As she drank it, it was like pure vinegar. As it just tasted so awful. Her eyes would turn black, but then nothing would happen. As Alastor would say, "Okay, you can go now. And by the way, an exorcist can be destroyed with an angelic weapon." As Charlie would say, "What?" As then things would continue like in canon until Alastor fought Adam. Adam would look up at Alastor and just laugh, as Alastor would laugh back. As Adam was about to strike him down, Alastor would say, "You fool, you'll only make me more powerful than you could ever imagined." Adam would say, "Is that a reference to something?" "I feel like that's a reference." "Oh well, shut the F up." As then Adam would put Alastor down, as Alastor would perish, and Husk would feel free. As Alastor was gone, though, things would continue like in canon until after the battle, when Charlie would wake up. But she wouldn't be in her bed, she would be in the balcony. Did she sleepwalk? She didn't sleepwalk before. It was so weird. As one of her eyes was the same color as the radio demon, but then it went back to normal. As Charlie went throughout her day, not much would happen. There would be a little bits of time where she had gaps in her memory, like doing small things. Little did she know Alastor was taken over. When Alastor perished, he enters Charlie's body because he owned her soul, and she's slowly being controlled by him as he slowly takes more and more influence. And she noticed right away she could repel him. So as he grows stronger, he takes bite by bite, step by step, to simply become more powerful. As eventually, one night, Alastor would take over for a few hours, as he wanted to test out his new power. He would check to make sure Vaggie was asleep, which she was, as then Alastor would get up and start to move away. Charlie had lots of power, but she didn't know how to use it, as Alastor would train by using it on others that are weaker than him. He would walk around, as then he spotted someone, a sinner. As then Charlie would walk up to him and say, "Hello there. Do you like radio?" The guy would say, "No, I'm not in the 1930s. As suddenly Charlie would say, "Good, I won't feel bad about this then." As suddenly a chain would appear around his neck, as it would be launched towards Charlie just for Charlie to punch him. As she would punch him again and again and again. She could do everything Alastor could do, but much more. As Alastor got used to these powers, he felt invincible. As he began to torture him, hear his screams of agony as he destroyed him. But then his time was running up, so he ran back to the hotel and laid in bed. As Charlie would wake up more and more tired each night, even though she got a perfect night of sleep. It was weird. One night as she was laying on the couch, Vaggie would talk to her. Vaggie would say, "Charlie, you seem different. You're more tired and you're out at night." She would say, "I'm probably just sleepwalking, but I haven't." "Maybe you are." Vaggie and Charlie began to talk, and Vaggie said, "I don't know about the sleep schedule. You should see a doctor." Charlie would nod. As Vaggie and Charlie talked, she would then kiss her and she would go see a doctor. Things would continue like normal, and Alastor would actually calm down a bit. Alastor was scared of getting caught, so he would only come out when he absolutely had to. And he began to hone his powers inside her mind. Things were going great until Charlie was going to visit Lucifer. Alastor became nervous, extremely nervous. Visiting Lucifer could backfire. He would know if something was up, so Alastor, as much as he hated it, had to make a move. As Charlie would go to see him, they would both hug, as Lucifer wouldn't expect anything. If he searched for her soul, he could find something, but he wouldn't really do that, because it's not like he searched for his daughter's soul daily, as then they would have a good time, as they would watch TV on the couch and reminisce. As Lucifer and Charlie started to talk, however, Alastor would slowly want to make his move, as Lucifer would say, "You know, I'm proud of you, Charlie." He would say, "Really? Really, Dad?" As then, Lucifer would nod and say, "Of course." As then they would hug, as Lucifer would go to make some snacks. As then, Alastor would take over, as Charlie would try to fight it, but she couldn't. She was simply too tired from lack of sleep, and had no idea how to deal with this type of magic, as Alastor would slowly walk up towards Lucifer. As then, he hugged him and said, "I love you, Dad." Lucifer would say, "I love you too." Lucifer could probably easily stop Charlie, but he loved Charlie and didn't expect anything bad to happen, as suddenly, he felt a sharp pain in his back. As he fell down, he was confused, as then, he went into his demonic form as he saw it. He said, "Alastor, I knew you were no good, I knew." As then he would cough. As then he said, "I handicapped you. Now, you can only use 20% of your power with that little stab, so now I can easily take you." Alastor would laugh as he charged and kicked Lucifer to the ground and began to beat him up, as Charlie would watch inside her head, not able to do anything as she was chained up. Started to have tears in her eyes, as Lucifer would beg Charlie to fight, beg Charlie to take over. As Charlie would try, Alastor would say, "I was slowly weakening you, Charlie. Each time I took over, I took a little bit of your power away. Now you can do nothing but watch as I control your body and your soul." As then, Alastor would laugh as he would step on Lucifer's neck, cracking it, as then he left. Now it's time to deal with Vaggie and the rest of the hotel. Lucifer was no more. Now it was time for Queen Charlie, but no one would really know it was King Alastor. Or should I say Alastor. Charlie would watch in chains in her own mind as she couldn't move. As then she slowly walked up to Vaggie and hugged her. Vaggie would say, "How are you doing?" "I'm doing great, love." As then they would go upstairs and begin to talk. As Charlie and Vaggie were getting closer and closer, they would hold hands. And Charlie would then laugh and say, "You know what? It's time for you to see my true self." As then her eyes would turn red, just like the radio demons. As a cane would appear, as she would hit Vaggie in the leg so hard it broke it. As Vaggie would look up and say, "What are you doing?" As Alastor would just laugh as she struck Vaggie again and again and again until she was no more. As Charlie's sadness, as Charlie's pain made him stronger, so he kept doing it, kept torturing her by making her see him burn down the hotel and strike down Angel. It made Alastor so much stronger. Now it was his time to take over hell. As he would call a meeting with the rest of the sins, as all the sins would line up, Alastor would walk around in Charlie's body. "My father has been destroyed by me. That makes me ruler of hell by birthright. Now, things will start to change around here." They're all shocked. Charlie would never do this. So they're all hesitant, but then Satan would stand up and say, "You admitted to doing treason." I think suddenly Alastor would fly towards Satan. As he's fully mastered Charlie's powers and potential, he would punch Satan, knocking him to the ground. As then, he would grab him by the leg and spin him around, using his big body as a punching bag until he fell to the floor. As then he would laugh and say, "Any more questions?" As they would all look down and nod no. As then he would say, "Good. Now, as queen, there will be many, many changes." As then, Alastor would start to laugh. Alastor did it. Alastor finally took hell. He finally achieved his dreams. As that was going on, we cut to Emily. Emily would fly down to the hotel to bring the news that Serpentis was redeemed, but it was destroyed, burnt down, nothing there. She was shocked as she looked around for anyone's approval, for anyone's opinion, but she couldn't find it. As then, she would see someone and ask what happened. They would say Charlie burnt down the hotel before she killed her father and took over hell. Emily was shocked. Charlie couldn't do this, could she? She would fly up in tears. The dream of redemption, the dream of hope, all gone, just for violence. Just gonna leave things off. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends. Hope you all enjoyed this video. I know I did. It was fun to make, fun to produce. Making this video reminds me of the old days when I first started doing has-been content. It was nice, you know? And to be honest with you, I don't know why I hadn't really done this idea before. I mean, I think it was suggested and it's a good idea. I just saw someone else do it, so I never really did it. But their channel's kind of dead now, so I was like, yeah. By the way, thank you for suggesting this idea. Xton 75. Tone. Why did I say tone? That's X-Tone 75. Yeah, this is why I usually don't read names out loud, because I suck at it. So this is why here, just look at it. But yeah, I guess it's probably better if I do that and read it. So yeah, thank you for testing this video. It was 8 days ago. I might be a little late, but I'm still going. And yeah, if you all want, I uploaded a video, what if Dragon Ball and Hazbin Hotel are in the same universe, which anytime I make a series, if it gets 1,000 views within the first week, I'll do a part 2 in the same week. So if you want to see that, go watch that. But if you guys like this video, comment down below what you want next, and let me know what you thought of the video, and let me know what you think Alastor will do in Season 2. After all, he made a deal with Charlie, but it's just for a favor. So what is that favor could be? Maybe his favor is asking her mom to let him free, which it might be Lilith. Everyone thinks it's Lilith, or it's a giant red heron. Either way, we'll have to see. I mean, Hazbin Hotel was great written, and it had a lot of good musicals. But I don't know if it's, like, clever enough for it to have a red heron like that, which might be why it's a red heron, trying to trick us. Everything on there was just kind of, like, on the nose, you know what I mean? There was, like, no mystery or, like, hidden details that we know of. Now, when Season 2 comes out, I might be totally wrong, and it was hidden so well we didn't know, you know what I mean? Hopefully that's the case, you know, and Season 1 was kind of, like, condensed in only a few episodes. That might be why. With Season 2 being morally made and then having, like, way more time and way more effort and energy, it's very possible that, well, it could be made a lot better. I'm excited for that. I'm also really excited for this year. One Punch Man's coming out, the new season, and the new season of King of the Hill's coming out. So that's great, you know what I mean? I love cartoons and I love anime. Ever since I was a kid and ever since I'm an adult, I just love them. I know my parents always say that cartoons are just for kids. So yeah. But, you know, if you all watch Family Guy or South Park, you know for a fact that it's not. Because, that's not for kids. But yeah. Do you know anyone who says cartoons are made for kids? And when you bring up South Park and Family Guy, what do they say? Anyway, love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. You mean the world to me. I'm so glad to have an audience like you. Peace out.